Hi, I would like to speak with you about having the wonderful world of bad credit. Let's go ahead and say that you had a home you just moved into and you had your brand new car. You're paying about $1,800 a month for that brand new car and brand new home. From that point, you're so excited, you're living in your new home. A neighbor moves in next door to you and they pull up with the identical car you own, right down to the wheels, the paint job, you name it, it actually is identical to your car. You get to be kind of friends with your neighbor and you start talking to your neighbor about, wow, we've got the same car, and then the neighbors, you start getting into a few other issues with the neighbor and talking to them about finances, that type of thing, which is, again, a pretty common thing. After a while you get to know your neighbor. And you find out the neighbor tells you for their car and for their home, which is really basically the same floor plan as yours, that the neighbor's paying $1,000 a month for their home and their car. What would be the reason for that? Again, they have better credit. Now, you're not feeling the greatest about yourself at that point, and you realize you have to make that extra $800 every month that your neighbor isn't making. So you're having to pick up Saturdays. It's putting stress on your relationship. You may be having little spats with your spouse about $30 spent here, $20 spent there, and again, a lot of stress in your life. Okay, is what I'm talking about. At that point, the neighbor says, "Hey, why don't you come on over on Sunday? I'd like to show you the new patio furniture that we have purchased at Nebraska Furniture Mart, tell you about our vacation." And you sit down and you start talking to your neighbor again about homeowners insurance. And again, the neighbor very proudly pronounces that they're only paying about $600 a year for their homeowners policy. For then you to find out that you're paying for the exact same company, the exact same deductible, you have identical to that neighbor. Again, you and your spouse know you're paying $1,200 a year for that same policy. The reason for that, again, is bad credit. Now you get home, and that Monday you start applying for new jobs because you're very determined the way to solve this solution is to get out and make that extra $800 by getting a higher paid job. So you start submitting your application to different jobs, and you're looking to try to get better yourself, so on and so forth. And you're being turned down all the time, and you can't figure out why. You're overqualified, if not very qualified, for that position. Again, what you don't know today is employers are pulling credit reports, and they're making their judgment on your credit. At that point, you're frustrated, you're trying to find any way possible in cutting down your costs, so you start applying for car insurance. All of a sudden you notice that your car insurance policy is much higher than your friends, so on and so forth, again, because of bad credit. Do you really want to deal with this kind of stress in your life? Do you really want to continue to work twice as hard as your neighbor for the exact same results? Let me suggest, give us a call, 816-795-8866. Let me see if we can help. Let's pull your credit report. Let's find out if we can cut the stress out of your life. Again, call 816-795-8866. And again, thank you for applying or taking a look at Pappas Processing.